Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. I think and think for months and years. 99 times. The conclusion is false. The 100th time I am right. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? The value of a man should be seen in what he gives, and not in what he is able to receive. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Only two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the former. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. I know not with what weapons World War II will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. A question that sometimes drives me hazy. Am I, or are the others crazy? Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. It is strange to be known so universally, and yet to be so lonely. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same. Before God we are all equally wise and equally foolish. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Whoever undertakes to set himself up as a judge of truth and knowledge is shipwrecked by the laughter of the gods. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly. We still do not know 1/1000% of what nature has revealed to us. The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Let every man be respected as an individual and no man idolized. An empty stomach is not a good political advisor. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. Heroism on command, senseless violence, and all the loathsome nonsense that goes by the name of patriotism. How passionately I hate them. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. The environment is everything that is in me. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. I am not only a pacifist, but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. Politics is for the present, but an equation is for eternity. We cannot despair of humanity, since we ourselves are human beings. Information is not knowledge. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. In order to be an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must above all be a sheep oneself. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. Love is a better teacher than duty. I love to travel, but hate to arrive. Never lose a holy curiosity. He who joyfully marches to music in rank and file has already earned my contempt. He has been given a large brain by mistake, since for him the spinal cord would suffice. Force always attracts men of low morality. My religion consists of a humble admiration of the illimitable superior spirit who reveals himself in the slight details we are able to perceive with our frail and feeble mind.